Are you kidding me? You know, we expect the Jays to lose against the Red Sox, but we expect them to lose in a legit fashion. Not a wild pitch. So, this game was tied until the bottom of the fifth inning, and Devers was at third base. And Aaron Sanchez threw the pitch in the dirt to Jackie Bradley Jr. Now, Danny Jansen made the mistake of trying to pick the ball out of the dirt instead of getting down to block it. Now, whatever, that's a young catcher's mistake. But instead of it just, hitting him and just staying in front of him, it hits him, it goes up in the air and all the way to the corner. Devers comes in to score, and that's how the Red Sox beat the Blue Jays. Physically. I mean, David Price was fantastic. Craig Kimbrell was Craig Kimbrell. And the Jays had a big opportunity in the eighth, and they couldn't do it against Stephen Wright. It's the way it goes, guys. It's brutal that's how this game had to finish. Or this game had to, the reason they won was on a wild pitch. The only run scored today was on a wild pitch. But we got to talk positives, all right? There are some. I mean, there's not many. Let me just put it that way. There's not many positives out of this game, guys. But there is some. And first things first, we'll say that Aaron Sanchez had his best start since coming off the disabled list against the best offense in baseball. I thought he was fantastic. And the key to this, throwing his fastball for strikes. That's all he needed to do, and he did it today. Yeah, he walked 3 guys, but one or two of those walks were in that fifth inning or sixth inning, whatever. I think it was the sixth inning that happened. Bottom of the fifth. So it happened in the fifth inning. They scored that 1 run. I think 1 or 2 of those happened there. It's tough. It's tough. And he went 7 innings, gave up only 3 hits, walked the 3, but struck out 6 and only gave up the 1 run, dropping his ERA 27 spots to 4.90. And guys, you don't look at end numbers for Aaron Sanchez. What I look at when it comes to him, how's he feeling the rest of the way? And is he pitching well? Is he locating his pitches right? Is he healthy? Because this year's a wash. We already know this. And to see Aaron Sanchez end this season off healthy and pitching well, that's very nice to see, because last season he was out for the rest of the year, so we didn't really see anything till the spring, and then he was all right in the spring, and then he got injured early on, and it was a complete mess the rest of the season. So he was injured, and he's coming back for 7, 8 starts, I guess, if you combined all the starts since coming off the DL. And if he pitches well in the last 3 or 4, that's something we got to take into next year as a very positive sign. Tough thing is he does take the loss because of that wild pitch. He ends up 4-6 now on the year. Tyler Clippard goes a clean inning there in the, I think it was the bottom of the 8th inning. Gave up a hit and walked 2 guys, but found a way to get out of it, getting Xander Bogaerts to pop out to Teoscar Hernandez to end the inning. And guys, I understand, there's a lot of people been chirping Tyler Clippard this year, but he's been one of the more steady relievers. Ryan Tepera, yeah, he's been good at times. There's been times where he's been lit and terrible. But Tyler Clippard had a really bad stretch kind of right in the middle of the season. And the beginning he was great, and lately he's been fantastic. ERA of only 3.68, guys. I mean, that is very serviceable. For a guy that coming into the season, everyone expected him to be absolute trash. Got to give credit where credit is due. He worked around that. The bases loaded jam and had Xander Bogaerts up. I mean, it's not the guy you want up at the plate, but he found a way to get the job done. And Billy McKinney, guys, his on-base streak ends. And guys, see, this is the problem, right? Back in the day, back in the good old days for Jays fans, 2015 and 2016, the Jays had one of the most potent middle of the lineups out there. Your number 1 guy, well, depending who it was, Ben Revere in 2015, who was very solid. Then you had Donaldson, Jose, Edwin, Tulo. Bang! You got a bunch of sluggers. It was great. They did the job most of the night, and the good thing about the Jays were, at the time, their bottom of the lineup produced a lot too. So when they produce, it carries into the top of the lineup where they just barrel over teams. That's the way it worked. Now, the bottom of the lineup today didn't really get much going. A 1-for-3 Rowdy Tellez, leadoff double there in the 8th inning against Stephen Wright. No one could bring him across the score, though. He was 1 for 3 with a couple strikeouts against David Price. So for Rowdy Tellez, he's just going to learn the ways facing Cy Young pitchers. Old Cy Young pitchers, but you're going to learn. Jonathan Davis, guys, got his first big league hit. Slaps the single the other way through first and second there, and picks up his first hit of the big leagues. Good for him, and well deserved as he was good in the outfield, and he also got a hit today. So there you go. The Jays only had 4 total. The other guys to get hits: Solarte, 2 for 3. And guys, what I just talked about the potent lineup. Let's talk about the top 4 guys in the order. McKinney 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Travis 0 for 4 with a strikeout and nailing a guy in the head with the bat. I mean, no, obviously he was devastated seeing that, and that's never something you want to see. But when you're having 0 for 4 games, then he hit, and then that just adds to it. And then Lourdes Gurriel, guys, 0 for 4, and Morales 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. When your top 4 guys in the lineup go 0 for 16, how many walks did they have? None. None of your top 4 guys got on base, period. You're not going to win much, but good pitchers, like David Price, is going to find a way to neutralize your top 4. Now, how well he's going to do that, well, that's obviously remains to be seen, but the middle of the order was nothing to be found today. Other than Solarte, who was batting 5th, and Hernandez was 0 for 3 in the 6th spot, Tellez was 1 for 3, like only 4 total hits for the Jays. You're not going to win many games with that. And same with the Red Sox. You're not going to win many games with that, but a wild pitch will do, I guess. It's brutal. But positive news, guys. Not on the technical Blue Jays front, but the New Hampshire Fisher Cats have won their second game of their series. They haven't won the title yet, but if I'm not mistaken, it's a best 3 out of 5. Because I remember Bo Bichette posting on his Instagram after they won the last series saying 3 more, so I would assume it's a 3 out of 5. If you guys know if it's any different, let me know. But they come out today, and they win 6-1 over the Akron Rubber Duckies. I know it's the Rubber Ducks. I know it's the Rubber Ducks, but I don't care. It's the Rubber Duckies to me, and that's the way it is. So let's talk about some positives. Bo Bichette, just a 2 for 5 game for Bo. He had a good one. Biggio went 1 for 4 with an RBI, and he scored a run as well. Santiago Espinal, Steve Pearce trade, if you guys remember, 1 for 3 in the ball game with an RBI, and Gunnar Height went 2 for 4, and Forrest Wall, the hero in Game 1, goes 2 for 4 with a run scored as well in this game, and he's hitting .500 in this series in the minimal 2 games, of course, but he's doing very well. He's hit .270-something since he's come over to the Blue Jays, or I guess to the New Hampshire Fisher Cats, and he's had a pretty good playoff run so far. For a center fielder, 22 years old in Double-A, something to keep an eye on moving forward. And on the mound for the Fisher Cats, John Harris, who has had an abysmal year last year with the Fisher Cats, had a terrible start to the season, kind of found himself midway through the year, had a couple rough starts to end the season, but was dynamite today. When 6 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, did not walk a batter, and struck out 7. He was fantastic, and Corey Copping, name sound familiar, John Axford trade, comes out to save the ball game, pitches an inning, and strikes out the side. And that's it for the Fisher Cats. They now come home looking for the cup. I don't know what it's called, but if you guys know what it's called, let me know in the comments, guys. I want to know what it's called, so if they do win it, when they win it, I want to be able to say what they won. The Eastern League Championship, I think it is, but I don't know what the cup is called. There you go, guys. I don't know if I would assume they have a day off because a travel day. I'd presume. I'm trying to look here. I'm doing it right on the spot for you guys because there's no game scheduled for tomorrow. So I would assume Friday is Game 3 of that series against the Akron Rubber Duckies. No, okay, still not popping up yet. But guys, you know what? The future is coming for the Blue Jays. You saw a little bit of Rowdy Tellez today. Great job getting the hit. Aaron Sanchez, dynamite. Defense from Lourdes Gurriel Jr. continues to impress. And it's beautiful, guys. It's great to see these young players. And Jonathan Davis getting his first hit of the big leagues. So, yes, what is that? Friday at 6:35 in New Hampshire, the Fisher Cats go for the cup. Jordan Romano, I think he's Canadian. He goes on the mound for the Fisher Cats in Game 3 of that series, all right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video, you guys enjoyed Aaron Sanchez, and you guys are jacked up for the Fisher Cats, which I'm hoping you are, smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below. What'd you guys think of today's game? What'd you think of Sanchez? And that's really about it. If you guys want to put any 2 cents worth about anything else, go right ahead. Because there wasn't much to talk about with this game. It was really terrible. But I want to hear what you guys have to say anyways. And Evan and I will talk to you guys. Well, if you guys did not see the podcast, it was uploaded today. Link is in the description for that, guys. Next Friday is next week's podcast. So that'll be all down in the description. The podcast link and the podcast channel link is all in the description below, guys. Twitter is also down below. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow night in the finale of this series as Sam Gaviglio is on the mound for the finale against Eduardo Rodriguez. 7-10 first pitch at Fenway as the Jays look to avoid the sweep. But it's not the guy you want on the mound if you're trying to avoid the sweep. So we'll have to wait and see. 7-10 first pitch at Fenway before the Jays hit the road to take on the Yankees. Oh boy. We'll talk to you guys then.